how does somebody get started with data analytics within the Shopify ecosystem?
Yeah. So I always encourage people to start simple, right? I know a lot of times when people think about the kinds of questions when they're trying to be data driven, they often want something that's like a really general answer. So they want to answer a question like, how are my users using my site? That turns out to be a very complicated question. The internet is a big place, and you would be shocked. Like if you've ever watched just like screen recordings of people using a Shopify store, you would be amazed the different customer journeys and different paths that people take on your Shopify store. So it's really hard to get like a clear picture of a general question that's just like, what are people doing on my site? Really, we want to start with the basics that sometimes aren't so basic, really. We want to know first the things that we really just want to know are like, how many orders did I have last week? That's often where we want to start. And the best place to start there is just looking at Shopify data. But often the next question is things like conversion rate, right? So am I getting traffic to my store, and how many of those people are converting? That can be a tricky question sometimes, but the place to start there, most people, what they'll do is they'll install Google Analytics on their Shopify store, either with an app like ours or with Shopify's built-in integration, and they'll get data going into Google Analytics 4. That's kind of the tracking piece, is just getting and capturing that data, right? And then they'll go and look in the Google Analytics 4 reporting interface and try to answer some questions like, what is my conversion rate? And that's a great place to start, actually, because so much of our Shopify questions really come down to conversion rate. And there's like thousands of reasons why your conversion rate might be going up and down every day, but it's a great number to look at to start with. And it also will inform if you do have tracking problems that maybe, like you said at the top, where you can't trust your data. So like I was looking at, to give a concrete example, I had a really big store. So this is a very sophisticated Shopify store. And they had a question where they said, why did the number of sessions in the United States just absolutely spike yesterday, right? It was like, we need to know, why is that the case? So what's interesting about that is their conversion rate tanked because the number of sessions went way up. So we went in and we looked and we were like, why are sessions going up? In that case, it turned out that there was a bot that was just hitting their store 1,000 times yesterday, right? And that's a tracking issue, not really a tracking issue, but a reporting issue that you'll have to work through as you start to analyze data. You're going to have things come up like that where you got to be like, oh, now we know we got to filter bot traffic out of this for us to be able to get accurate conversion metrics. That's meaningful. There was nothing meaningful about that increase in traffic yesterday. It was really just Google Analytics, some bot found their site and Google Analytics was reporting a lot of sessions. So that's like an example of a great place to start, and really like a thing you will continually circle back to is just like, what is my conversion rate, and breaking it down by traffic source, landing page, things like that. So
yeah, that's a good example of where there was no action to take with the data other than filtering out the bot.